Well, isn't this place just looking lovely? So, in this episode, what we're going to be doing is first I want to check my shops, to see if we got some sales. Looks like we actually have. That's very nice. I do actually need to also restock my elytra, so that's on the list for some point. But in this episode, what we're going to be doing is I need to make my second shop. So I'm going to be making a redstone shop this season, and for that we need to make a witch farm. So the witch farm drops a ton of loot, and I found a really nice special place for it, and that's in a swamp, obviously. But this swamp is about 8,000 blocks away and has 2 witch huts, so we should get double the rates. Yeah, it means I have to AFK less amount of time, and it means that the redstone will be cheaper. So that is very nice. But yeah, that's basically the plan for this episode. I made my own design for the overall witch farm and the storage area, and then the collector system for the actual witches themselves, that is based on an Ilmango design. So yeah, go check that out if you're looking to make your own witch farm. But basically what we're doing is we're using that collector design to pick them up in minecarts, send the witches up to me, which is in an AFK spot up at the top of the farm, and then the items get picked up and processed. Easy as that. But eventually we'll get to the actual auto crafting system, because I do really want to make an auto crafting system. The idea is that I obviously make all the redstone components, so the repeaters, the comparators, observers, all that kind of stuff myself, so nothing has to be handmade by any of the other members of the server. And yeah, I'm really excited to actually work on that. So first, like I mentioned, we need to make the witch farm. Off camera, I got lucky. I got a trident. If you don't know me already, the trident is my favorite weapon in the game. I love the Riptide enchantment on it, and I think it's time that we go to our swamp. So the swamp is really far. It's about 8,000 blocks south. I'm lucky that it's pretty much directly south, because it means that I won't have difficulty trying to find it every time. But I've set up a portal, and what we have to do first is clear all the trees. So which way is south? This way is south. So I need to clear all the trees because I do want to keep the wood. But once we finish that, I'm going to be using a bunch of TNT Flying Machines to kind of bomb out an area. So the reason I'm doing that is so that we get some better spawns. I'm not going to do this in a very organized or clean way. You'll just see some B-roll of that. And yeah, it should be quite quick. But after that, we'll get to the build. I'll show you a little bit what the build looks like. And yeah, then I'll go over kind of how it works and the storage collection system that I have set up. And then we need to make a little pop-up shop. We made it to the swamp. So this is about 7,500 blocks away from spawn. And the reason I want to build in this swamp is that there are 2 witch huts that are really close together. And so it would really be ideal to build a redstone farm here. It means we get double the rates. So that is very nice. I've already prepared the area a little bit. I'm not fully done. I'll turn on the spawning sphere from the AFK area. But basically, I still need to clear out this entire section of trees because I don't really want to waste the wood. And then clear out all the water and TNT it till about this low. So that's going to be a bit of a task, but should get done. So I cleared all the trees in this area already, so we have plenty of wood to work with. And then obviously with the dark oak is going to be really nice. But yeah, big plans. Big plans. So I then spent some time clearing out the rest of the remaining trees and clearing out the water. So I used some sponges that I got from an ocean monument, and this went pretty easily. I had no major issues. And overall, I mean, there's not much to show. Once I finished clearing all the trees, it was time to use some sponges to clear the water. So this went pretty smoothly as well. No major issues. And yeah, now it's time for some TNT action. So I'll link in the description which flying machine I used for this, but it was really nice. It basically bombed in both directions, so it was twice as efficient as some of the other flying machines that I'd used in the past. And we'll go straight into a short time lapse just to show you the TNT dupers in action, because it is quite satisfying. And then right after that, I'll start building the farm. now that the bombing's done, we can actually start building the farm itself. So I started by laying out the minecart tracks for our minecart system. And basically, it's one long minecart track that collects witches at one farm, and then any minecarts that don't collect a witch at the first one can collect witches at the second one. So the minecarts get released by a hopper clock, and I've set it up so that the minecarts are perfectly in time to where most, if not all, of the minecarts have a witch in it by the end of the track. So here I actually start building the Ilmango witch collector. So this is an absolutely perfect farm. It works so efficiently and it works so well. Basically how it works is soul sand has a slightly smaller hitbox than a regular block, and so when the witches spawn, they get detected basically by a string that's set to the tripwires. Once they're detected, it shifts the entire floor by one block, which allows the witches to fall through the soul sand. So let's say a witch spawns on the top floor. I think there's 3 floors. They keep falling down, keep shifting the floor underneath them, and then eventually they end up in the collection chamber. And so from that collection chamber, the minecarts have an easy time picking them up, and then they get brought to me. But yeah, if you're interested, the creator of this farm is Ilmango, as I mentioned earlier. Absolutely perfect farm, and it still works just fine, even though it was, I think, intended for Minecraft 1.13, so years later, it still works. Here I am building the second of the witch farm, basically the same, other than rotation, and I had no issues building it. Then after that, we needed to start building an actual collection system. So I started with a basic hopper collection system. So here I am placing all the chests for the collection, because witches produce so much of so many different materials that, you know, I need a big storage system. And then once I finish this, in the next episode probably, I will be setting up some auto crafters. So those auto crafters will be to craft the actual redstone components themselves. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, stuff like observers and comparators, those kinds of things. So we will have to set up some other farms for those, such as stone, for example. But yeah, here you can see me finishing up the collection system, and we'll take a look at the farm. We finished. Nice. It is looking so sick. Okay, so we have that witch hut over there done, and I don't know if you can see it, but that witch hut over there as well. And this entire area is done as well. So I added 2 auto crafting systems. This one's for redstone blocks, this one's for glowstone blocks, and the rest is all loose items. So we have the rest of the redstone, I think sticks next, then the glowstone, then gunpowder, spider eyes, sugar, and bottles. So we have tons of storage here. Yeah, but I haven't really shown you how it works. So right over there is where we have our minecart storage. So the minecarts are stored in those 2 chests and are broken by that cactus. So the way I have the system kind of set up is I just stand in this spot, click the lever, and I'll swing my sword. The minecarts then drop with a set amount of time in between each minecart. They drop onto the ramp, and then they head over to the first witch hut. The minecarts then pick up a witch, and any minecart that doesn't will be able to pick one up at the next witch farm. So here you can see the minecarts with a witch won't interact with the witch farm at all, but the minecarts without a witch end up filling up on the witches from the second farm, and then they continue on their journey. The witches then hit an activator rail in their minecart, which sends them up the first bubble column. Then the minecarts get sent up the second, and they both make their way up to the top of the farm. So the reason I set this up is I found that having 2 bubble columns like this was a lot simpler and easier for actually managing the farm, and it means that I save on gold as well, as I don't need to bring the minecart and the witch together up to the top through minecart rail. This farm can also be AFK'd, as if enough witches get crammed into this small area, they'd start to die of entity cramming. But in this case, I am using Sweeping Edge to hit them through the armor stand, and then the items get collected and sorted through the water stream and honey blocks. And it's really fast. Like, the amount of items this thing produces is insane. But yeah, so the minecarts come up here, they bounce around a little bit, and get broken. So every minecart is recycled, none of them break, which is really nice, really efficient, and yeah, I'm just really proud of this farm. The actual witch collectors aren't my design, but everything else is, which is very nice. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. It's very efficient and it gives me really good rates. Basically, what we can do now is, once we collected up enough redstone, we can actually set up a shop for it. So in this episode, because we've done so much, I'll probably just make a pop-up shop, you know, to sell us some redstone real quick. And maybe we let that go for about a day, and then we can check the sales. But yeah, other than that, like, really happy. I think next episode we'll probably design the auto crafters, or we'll design the actual shop. I haven't decided yet. I don't know if it'll be more of a redstone video or a build video, but regardless, it should be nice. We should get a lot of action, and yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out. One thing that I do still need to add for this is a beacon. So as you can see by my health bar at the bottom, we are losing hunger, which is an issue because we will starve to death if we don't eat. So instead of eating all the time and wasting food, because this, unlike for example the prismarine farm that we had last season, it doesn't actually produce any fish, it doesn't produce any food that we can consume. So yeah, the best other option is just to get a regen beacon and then just never die. Starving but never dying. I think that's probably the next best option. Before we go anywhere, we should probably check how much this thing is made. So that is in about 20 minutes, and that's just full blocks. Obviously that's empty, but back here we have a little bit of overflow. That's all redstone as well. Look at the sticks. So if anyone ever needs like sticks for a Fletcher villager, like, damn, we have sticks. Glowstone is also good. We'll probably use this to make redstone lamps, for example. This will be used for those. Maybe if there's a need for it, we could sell them individually as well. We'll have to see if the server needs it. If anyone has a honey farm, bottles, we have plenty of bottles, and gunpowder as well, so maybe we can make some rockets for ourselves. Yeah, I guess spider eyes if someone needs a potion shop, and the sugar as well for those. And then we just have tons and tons of potions. I do also have an overflow set up so that if we don't have any more space for potions, they will just end up being burned so we don't lag out the server. But everything else I'm very happy with. I'm very happy with the crater as well, because if we take a look at the spawning sphere, so this is the spawning sphere from our AFK platform up top, you can see that nothing, except for maybe this vine, I don't know why that vine is still there, nothing except for the witch huts is in that radius. So no other blocks, nowhere where anything can spawn, which is just really nice. I am very happy with it, and it looks to be pretty much 100% witches spawning, except for maybe the occasional bat, which is very nice. I'm very happy with that. Should give us good rates. Before we end the episode, I do want to check my sales, because it has been pretty much 24 hours since I set this thing up, and I have heard, nice, okay, that is awesome. So I heard that I had some sales already, but that is way more than I was thinking. That is perfect. So I went AFK for a little bit longer, and just look at that. That was probably an hour, 2 hours of AFK time, and we have pretty much 2 shulker boxes of redstone. I'm very happy with that. So now we can also restock. I am still selling in stacks of 32, because I think that is a fair price, because they are relatively cheap. So this will ensure I get some diamonds and the people get their redstone. Yeah, I mean, it's still plenty of redstone. What is that, like 4.5 stacks of redstone for 1 diamond? That's insane. Okay, nice. Fully restocked and living the good life. Look at that. That was what, 20 diamonds or something. Very, very happy with that. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, do whatever. Anything helps. I am on the road to 500 subscribers. I think I just hit about 400, which is really, really huge. Thank you to everyone watching, to everyone who subscribed. It really means a lot. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll enjoy the next one, and I'll see you there. Bye-bye.